What's up, guys? Happy Monday morning. What is it, November 3rd? Wow, Halloween. Hopefully everyone had a great Halloween weekend. So much to talk about. We usually don't go live on Mondays, Sunday morning brew with Gillian Robertson and Elle Dawson on Sunday. And then Tuesdays, our main live show around 1 or 2 p.m. But I'm going to go live. I think I might do this maybe every Monday morning, especially when we have a lot of talk about, right? Guys, if you have any comments, jump in there. Any questions, ask away. Like the stream, sub the channel, all that good stuff. All right, let's get right into it, right? Let's kind of talk about the main topic at hand. It's crazy, right? Steve Garcia wins the main event, and he's kind of an afterthought of what's happening right now. Wild. Issac Dulgarian. I think he's a 7-2 mixed martial artist, right? 2-2 in the UFC, and that's what the MMA world is talking about right now. I'll make that smaller, and I just want to show that artwork. We got 4 main topics for the day. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, jump in, thoughts, comments. I love it. We'll talk about it. A lot to get in with this conversation. So it's funny. I'm watching the event, and usually Elle and I, we kind of usually are pretty spot on together and pretty have the same wavelength. We disagree on some fights and fighters and stuff of that nature, but we're on the same wavelength. And I texted her right away. I go, dude, do you see what's happening? Like, it is everywhere. I saw it live and in motion. I don't know if you guys did as well. If you guys were watching UFC Vegas 110 on Saturday, or if you were on social media, hours before this fight, it was just on social media, especially Twitter, X, if you want to say it now in 2025. That there was some weird stuff happening in this fight. And I got like 9 steps here. I got so many things to break this down. I got 9 things I'm going to go through on this Issac Dulgarian fight, and now being released today from the UFC. So the first thing was a lot of money was being bet on the other side. Issac was the betting favorite when this fight was announced. Let's just be honest. Issac Dulgarian, good prospect, young, a good fighter, really good mixed martial artist. He was 2-1 in the UFC. His only loss was a split decision against C-Rod. C-Rod, to me, is a good MMA fighter, good UFC fighter. I think he'll be in the UFC for 10 years. Yeah, he's beat Rojas Jr., right? He's a good MMA fighter. Issac is on that level. Very good fighter. He was the betting favorite going into this fight. He was 2-1, like I said, in the UFC. His only loss being split decision. Another thing I want to throw out too about Issac Dulgarian that I haven't heard yet. Issac Dulgarian now being cut today from the UFC. And people are like, oh, he just lost the fight. Guys, the UFC don't cut fighters with people that lose fights, right? Like Michael Chandler's on a multiple fight losing streak. There's guys in the prelims that lose fights that keep going forward. Issac Dulgarian is also a finisher. This guy had 2 UFC wins, both wins by finish. So he's an exciting type of mixed martial artist. He's the one that Dana White on the Contender Series is saying, beat Joe Pfeiffer, right? Like, get finishes, finish your fighter. So Issac Dulgarian is a finisher. So this guy, I'm going too far in front. Let me kind of rewind a little bit. So he was the big, massive betting favorite. And hours before the fight, not a week, not a month, mostly 2 hours before the fight, major bets, big bets. And I'm this is all kind of out there. I don't know exact details. If you guys know any detailed information, please put in the chat. We'll talk about it. Big bets were made on against Issac Dulgarian. Now the major one, the big one. So now he's not this big betting favorite, just a slight betting favorite. The biggest of all that is the biggest bet was made of Issac losing via first round finish, getting stopped in the first round, because that's the only way you can lose in the first round, right? You can't lose via decision. You got to be stopped in the first round. Again, Issac, now 7-2, has never been finished. His only loss is a split decision to C-Rod, who I think is better than his opponent on Saturday night. So to me, it's just kind of out of left field that this guy's never lost. This guy had a finish, and his finish is via in the first round. Biggest bet of the night. Biggest bet of the year, maybe in mixed martial arts. So it's fishy. Right. It's fishy going into it. Now, I know I'm like this too, guys. If people tell me, oh, I went to the movies and I saw a movie and it was phenomenal, it kind of messes with me. And if people say the opposite, oh, this movie was horrible in the movie theater, I kind of go into it like, oh, this is going to be a bad movie. And even if it's just okay, I'm like, that's pretty good. That's better than what I heard, right? You know what I mean? So now I'm going into this fight thinking of something that is fishy. I'm on social media. I'm on X. We're posting on Fight Bananas. And I think that's something that's fishy happening on this fight. Again, I'm not the biggest expert of all time, but I think I know what I'm doing. I think I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm seeing. I commentate on mixed martial arts contests, hold press conferences. I know who's who. I know what's going on in the business. And I'm watching this fight and I'm like, just the eye test. I don't know if anyone in here is college football fans. Sometimes you can see a team and they're better than that team that's ranked ahead of them. Just seeing the fight, seeing the match, seeing a football game, I can see the eye test. Something was fishy. Just like, again, I'm not going into details, but how Issac kind of tried to wrestle his opponent, but never moved, never continued, never transitioned into the takedown, never took him down. He just kind of stood there and put his neck in. It's like, hey, I'm here. I know everyone keeps on saying he was fighting the hands. Yeah, if you don't fight the hands, the guy's trying to get away with it probably, right? Allegedly. The guy's trying to not make it so obvious that he gets kicked out of the UFC and the FBI's on it. That what now is happening. So he tries to fight the hands. He gets rear naked choked in round 1. So now all the bettors, the biggest bettors that bet against Issac and then bet against Issac to lose in the first round, all those men, ladies, syndicates, betting people, all those people are correct and they win money, right? So if we just stop there, it would be kind of like fishy. And, there's always rumors out there in MMA, behind the scenes stuff, but you never really know. But now we know more information. More stuff has come out since that. The first thing I want to throw out here is that I'm not saying this is always the case, but if we've heard nothing since Saturday night, it's now Monday morning at 9 a.m. here on the East Coast. We've heard nothing from Issac Dulgarian or his camp or his management. Here, let's see this. It would be a terrible time to throw a fight for gambling reasons with all the buzz happening in the MMA. No, it's a great point. That is a very good point. And that's kind of one of my takes too. That's one of my points of like, I don't think Issac was going to be cut. And I'm kind of skipping places because of this point right here. I don't think Issac was going to be cut regardless of what happened if everything was on the up and up. But I think he and his team thought, oh, guys, it's maybe a possibility because if I lose, I'm 2-2 in the UFC. There's no guarantees. And they offered him, money that he couldn't say no to. Who knows? I don't know. 100,000, 500,000, millions, 2 millions. I have no idea. Don't know. Don't want to get into details of what I think he could have got or his team or family could have got. But back to the point I was making. We've heard nothing from Issac. We've had nothing from his team, his management, his coach. You think someone would be out there on YouTube right now or against Ariel Helwani like, guys, Issac just had a bad camp. He had a bad weight cut. His opponent is undefeated. Nothing. We're not hearing anything against what the MMA masses media are running with. Ariel Helwani, MMA guru, every MMA content creator, every media outlet is running with this, and nothing is coming on the opposite side. That being said, also, the two biggest points. Now, the first one is, if anyone's been to Las Vegas and you go down that strip, you see all these big buildings. The elevators are beautiful. Everything is marble. The lobbies are immaculate. The food is phenomenal. Vegas is built on making money from people that lose money making bets. That's how Vegas is built. Like, we understand this. Like, the FanDuels and the Hard Rock Bets and the DraftKings, all these big betting outlets that you can get on your phone now, they make millions of billions and trillions of dollars because people lose bets. They never want to give money back to you, right? To us. And there's been major accounts right off the bat as quickly as Saturday night that said, yeah, they know something is fishy and they gave the money back. They're like, something's not right. We don't want to be a back and forth thing, maybe about being sued or the integrity of their site, of their app. Here's the money back. I hope you're happy, folks. Okay. So with that being said, another thing is fishy. And then here's the last thing. Here's the icing on the cake. Issac, young fighter, I think he's 27, 28, 29, late 20s, plenty of his career. The UFC is not in the business of letting assets go. They're not in the business. We know they just signed the deal with Paramount Plus. They know the PFL is out there, PFL tour with Bellator, and they're going to stay on ESPN. They know that ESPN's not happy with them. They don't want to give other MMA organizations ammo, assets. And before this weekend, Issac Dulgarian is kind of an asset. He's a good young mixed martial artist. He's a finisher, finished Francis Marshall. He is a good fighter. The UFC released him this morning. Come on, guys. Guys, we're all grown-ups here, right? We've seen females on a 4-fight losing streak. Sam Alvey went 9 fights without getting a W. Ferguson still hasn't won in MMA in 5 years. Michael Chandler, not even that. There's prelim guys that are 0-3, 1-3, 2-2, 2-3. They're not being cut. You don't want to leave assets. Sometimes you need those guys to build other mixed martial artists. We're all grown-ups here, right? You can't have all undefeated fighters. Peyton Tablet would have no one to fight to get to Henry Cejudo, right? So for the UFC just to cut Issac Dulgarian this morning, saying we're done, we released him, something is fishy, we are letting him go, and they're not standing behind him. Come on, we're done. It's over. Like we all know what happened. Like it's over. So there we go. There's my 12 minutes on Issac officially being released. Ariel Helwani broke the news early this morning. I think it was out there like at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., very early. And also, if you think about it, to me, that means that came from the West Coast, right? Like, we all know the UFC is in Las Vegas. Their base is in Las Vegas. That means they cut him at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. in the morning, maybe at midnight on Sunday night. And then the news got out. His management, somehow Ariel Helwani found out in the middle of the night, and this post was made. So they're not taking time. They're not wasting time. They're not waiting for Tuesday to get in their meetings. This is something that the UFC has dealt with and washed away. So there we go. And yes, it's terrible timing. The NBA is going through a massive gambling scenario situation right now. And he tried to pull one on us, I think, guys. I think Issac tried to pull one on us. We figured it out. And the MMA community won't let you off the hook. I'll tell you that. So there you go. Issac is released Dulgarian from the UFC. All right. First thing. Second thing, I'm not even getting to Steve Garcia yet. The guy wins the main event by first round TKO. He's not even story number 1, story number 2. He's story number 3. Because story number 2 to me is in the heavyweight division. Waldo Cortez Acosta wins via first round knockout of Ante. I also too, I talked to multiple people. I don't know if anyone saw Con Air, 90s action movie in the late 90s. Nicolas Cage. There's a line in it, something about irony and being ironic. And how wild is it that Tom Aspinall Fight Week said, hey, if Ante keeps winning fights, if he wins more fights and we'll fight for the heavyweight championship, I would relinquish my championship. He's a good partner. He's a good training partner. He's my friend. I won't fight him for the championship. I will relinquish my title, which annoys the crap out of me. It annoys the crap out of Dana White. Dana White called him on it. So Ante and Waldo was in the co-main event. Of course, if you guys are watching this, I would assume you watched the fight. You all know what happened. Ante is pounding on Waldo pretty good, beating him up in the corner against the cage. The fight's about to be stopped. It looks like he throws something and definitely gets Waldo in his eye. And then there's an eye poke. However, Waldo, because it's a flurry. It's not just one punch. It wasn't a Cyril Gane eye poke and he was out. It was eye poke, punch. It was a flurry. And in that flurry, the referee comes in, calls the fight. All of a sudden, Waldo's like, guys, it's my eye. It's not that I'm not TK'd. I'm fine. He poked me in the eye. So they went back to the right. And actually, to be brutally honest, I loved what they did. They got the right call. I've always said this. I don't care if it takes more time or less time, or if it's a bad way of getting it. If you get to the right result, I'm fine with it. Just get to the correct answer. Even if you do it wrongly or maybe not correctly, but if you get to the right answer, I'm cool. So, of course, he gets eye poked. He puts that same black rag. Look at this. It's the same tissue thing. Look at Aspinall and Waldo. It's the same thing. Aspinall can't continue. Not going there with it. Waldo does continue. Feels like he's poked in the eye. They fight for 20 more seconds. Waldo lands a crazy overhand right, puts Ante down, TKOs him in the middle of the octagon. And as soon as Waldo wins, he goes right back to his eyes. Like, my eyes messed up. How crazy. How ironic that Aspinall's teammate, and he said earlier in the week, I've never eye poked someone in my whole career. And he did on this fight. He's probably, I hate to say it, the John Anik thing, he won't fight for the championship for at least 2 more years. I don't thought he was ever going to fight for the championship. I was never thought, he came from PFL. I know him. I have a lot of respect for him. I'd never thought of him as a UFC title challenger. That's just me. So crazy scene. Just the most ironic thing, heavyweight division, teammates of Aspinall, all that. And then the crazy part of that, about that afterwards, Waldo calls out Tom Aspinall. And you ready for this one? In a heavyweight division where there's no buzz and there's no rivalries, we got one now. I'm not even joking. Everyone's like, we have Volkov and Aspinall if Aspinall goes through Gane next. I'd rather see Waldo Aspinall. I feel I got some buzz now. Like, this is a fight I genuinely want to see in the heavyweight division. And when's the last time we can say that? So there we go. All right. Issac being cut. Waldo calling out Tom Aspinall. Now we can finally get to the mean machine, Steve Garcia. Probably performance of the night, finish of the night, his first main event. This featherweight just keeps on winning fights, guys. We just have to pay attention. I saw a great post about like him and Dustin Poirier, similar in how they fight and their striking styles and just the kind of their attitude a little bit. Guys, this is the real deal. The mean machine, Steve Garcia, is the real deal. Absolutely dominates David Onama. Like I said, first round TKO, looks great, was great on the microphone. Calls out Max Holloway, BMF. Love it. Go for it. Shoot for the stars. But also after the fight, post-fight scrum, if you want to say, Steve Garcia did call out Josh Emmett. And I do love that fight. And that's a fight that could happen. We put these two out there at Fight Bananas as well. Gene Silva's coming off of a loss. Big name. Also, can that Silva versus Garcia can main event a fight night. And then how about Youssef Zalal coming off of a big win himself against Josh Emmett a couple weeks ago? I can see Zalal and Garcia as a headliner. I want to see Garcia fight. So yeah, me too. That's my number one. If I had to rank those three, Garcia Silva 1, Garcia Zalal 2, and then Garcia Emmett 3. That's my list. That's my 1, 2, 3. But you know what I mean? So I'll take Silva Garcia. There we go. So shout out to the mean machine, Steve Garcia, 7 wins in a row in the featherweight division. Guy's a problem. He's very Mario Batista-ish, very quiet. It just keeps on getting wins. So that's 2. All right, 2 last little things. I got let me do the Gillian Robertson thing first and we'll end with the Jake Paul. Over this past weekend, Jillian and Elle were on Sunday Morning Brew. Like I said, best show on Fight Bananas. I love it every Sunday morning around 10 a.m. Also, she'll be on the Fight Bananas show tomorrow around 2 p.m. like always. But over the weekend, it was Gillian Robertson, kind of new opponent switch. If a lot happened through the weekend. It was Halloween. So if you missed it, I should have that fight poster up, but I don't. Amanda Lemos has stepped up and will fight Gillian on December 13th, number 5 in the world. I love it. We love it. It's a big fight. The fight, Lusando was 7, so Amanda being 5 makes it even bigger. And also the elephant in the room, after Dern won, a lot of the MMA content and content creators and outlets, they threw up, hey, we should see Dern versus Tatiana Suarez next. Not so fast, my friends. Shout out Lee Corso. Tatiana Suarez was very unimpressive. Yeah, unimpressive against Lemos. She doesn't fight often, far and few between, injury prone. Guys, go YouTube or UFC Fight Pass Lemos versus Tatiana. Like, also, I hate to go there. Tatiana had a title challenge against Wei Li. And, I know Wei Li is probably the greatest strawweight of all time, but Wei Li dominated her, smashed her. It wasn't close. So for her to get a title shot after you get dominated for the title, you fight Lemos next, and you weren't impressive. I don't know how people are like, oh, she definitely gets it over G. And I know I'm biased. I am biased on this. But if Gillian dominates Lemos, God forbid she stops her, G, Dern, spring of 2026. So there we go. Last thing, and then I'm going to run. Got to say some stuff for Tuesday, right? Tank Davis looks like is out of that Jake Paul fight on November 14th, which looks like they might be moving dates because they might need a replacement and kind of create new buzz for a new fight. I don't want to get into why Tank's out. Tank is probably out. It's not even a definite thing, but it just seems like all the rumors are like, yeah, Tank's out. Look at these names. It's just wild that Jake Paul is that big of a draw, that big of a pull that they can do a rematch against Nate Diaz again. The first name everyone's reporting that Jake Paul did reach out to Ryan Garcia. Of course, you got Bud Crawford, the best boxer maybe alive today. And then, of course, the ginormous match, kind of little PFL versus PFL, but I don't know if any of them are in the PFL. Jake Paul in the heavyweight division against Francis Ngannou. Guys, that's fun. I'm sorry. I know some people don't like it. I get it if you don't like it. But Paul versus Ngannou on a poster is pretty dang fun. So looks like Tank Davis is out. It's not a definite yet. A major announcement I hear is coming this week. And then are we going to see Nate Diaz 2, Garcia, Bud, or Francis take that spot? And it looks like they're trying to switch it from November to December of next month. So there we go, guys. I just wanted to come in, a little live show. Any comments, any stuff come through right now. If not, I'm going to run. Crazy time. It was a fight night that no one was really excited about. Not a lot of names, name value. Good card. Got some good finishes. I thought the fights were good. Main event was awesome. Steve Garcia. I thought the co-main event was a movie in all of its own. And then we got the biggest news of the weekend. Probably the biggest news story of this late calendar year is the Issac situation now being officially released from the UFC. Major betting scandal is involved in this. So crazy times. Guys, sub the channel, like the stream, share it with a friend, share it with an enemy. We appreciate you. We'll see everyone tomorrow. Fight Banana Show. Myself, Gillian, El Dawson will be coming through. I think we got Natalie Kutez coming through the show, so it's going to be a fun time. We'll see everyone tomorrow around 1:40. I'll go live. All right. Appreciate it. Sub the channel. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Quick hands. Woo.